As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, along with our co-host,
Dawn Strozier. I am in the building, y'all.
That's right. Celebrity Dawn.
The Celebrity Dawn was
Too
off
cute.
doing celebrity stuff last week.
Wow.
We missed you.
I missed you as well.
But we know you were rocking and rolling, so that was cool.
Thank you.
We like that. We like that.
We always like it when you're out there, Dawn, because I know you're making us money, so
Yes.
that's always a good
Yes,
thing.
I'm making us money.
Making
I
us
like
money.
that. Because if I'm making us money, you guys are making us money.
That's what I'm talking about. And you know what they
That's
say,
okay.
right? Your money is our money.
Absolutely. See, the key is to having other people that are contributing towards your income. That's the key.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's the key.
That's the key.
Other people's money.
Yes.
So, Crystal, what's been up? What's been going on this past week?
This week is actually I spent Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday filling out my ballot, doing all my research, reading all my small print, and my
All
pros
right.
and my cons.
So maybe we
Right.
can educate some of these people.
And I went and voted yesterday.
All right, that's
Play
what
no
I'm talking
games
about.
with my vote.
Yes,
I voted
yes.
yesterday.
They-
I felt
Awesome.
good.
They are not going to block your vote.
They're not blocking my vote. I gotta have a say.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because the world is crazy right about now, so I have to have a say. So it was great. When we got there, it was about 265 people
Right.
that
Oh,
was
really?
voting.
That's not bad.
I drove to Norwalk to the registrar's office.
That's
Right.
good.
And it was really cool. My sister, she voted as well. She goes,
Very
she
good.
says, if I die tonight, I voted. I feel
Yes.
good. I feel like I've done something today.
So even if they send a bomb your way, then
Yeah, we voted.
We voted.
Ours has already been cast.
Yes.
So it was that was fantastic. You do have to. I will say this for everyone. A lot of times we're always waiting for the cheat sheet to come in.
Yeah.
Right.
But you really should do your own research, because there's some the ones that I felt was very, very important was any of the measures in regards to those for housing, because
Like
that's
Proposition
just
10?
right. As
Yes.
they say, the rent in LA is too damn high.
Oh, yeah.
So Proposition 10. There was some little confusion on the one for Prop 8, which is about the kidney dialysis, so you got to really read that.
Yeah.
And then the water was important. This one, I thought they just threw this measure in,
Yeah.
and this measure was about do we want standard daylight savings times year-round? So I
hell?
voted yes for
Right.
that, because I hate the adjustment.
No.
I don't like it I hate when it adjusts.
But they already know we don't like it, so why didn't they just say, okay,
Because you had to vote
that's
it
what
in.
we're going to do?
You had to vote it in.
That is so crazy,
Yeah,
man.
and the water, there's something on the ballot
Right.
about water, so
Right.
we obviously have to take care of that. And I think those were the most important. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Generally, in previous elections, because there's so many judges, I went through them with a fine-tooth
Right.
comb. After Kavanaugh, man, I know everything about them. They can be my best friends right about
Right.
now.
No Kavanaughs, right?
Me and Google,
Yeah.
we went to town
So
on the
you
judges.
check and make sure that they're not drinking, right?
Yeah,
Getting
no
drunk.
drinking, no sexual harassment. I spent a whole day just on judges.
Right. That's awesome. That was needed.
And
Yeah.
that was needed. It was needed. So now I feel confident
Right.
that none of those judges that I voted for are going to railroad any black folk.
Right. That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's right,
good.
man. This is unbelievable.
good.
In most of these states, there's so many disenfranchisement going on
Yeah.
in terms of voting.
Right.
Like in Kansas yesterday, I heard that they moved the polling. There are one polling station,
Right.
in Kansas,
Yeah.
right? In this town in Kansas. They moved it about 25 miles away because most of the population in there, they know they're low income.
Yeah.
They can't afford to drive because they don't have cars. They depend on public
Right.
transportation. So they move it all the way
Yes.
over there.
Yes.
this stuff should be illegal.
It should
This
be
is crazy.
Because most of these guys who are doing this, and I try not to be political on the air, this type of stuff, but most of those guys who run those ballots, they're Republicans.
Yeah.
So they're purposely. It's like you being in a competition, but you're being the judge of the competition
And the jury.
too. You see what I mean?
Yeah, everybody.
So
You
that
everybody.
means you're going to decide if you win over the other competitors.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. It's supposed to be objective.
It's going to be objective. That's the whole idea of voting. In fact, I think in Atlanta, I find it quite interesting, or actually across the country, because if they feel that they have all of their supporters behind them, then why you got to stoop to these tricks in order to suppress votes and take votes and look for hyphens and all this other craziness?
That's ridiculous.
You don't have to. If you feel that confident, then what you scared?
Right.
Why you scared?
That is
Why
crazy.
Why you scared?
And one thing I was looking at in terms of these propositions, first of all, I hate these stupid propositions, because all of these propositions that are on the ballot is designed to tax us. All of them.
No doubt.
Because you're either going to pay a 0.5% tax here or a 0.25% tax here or there, just to ensure that the stupid proposition that they put on the ballot is in effect. Now, I've never seen any proposition on that ballot for small business. Not one for small business. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Right.
It's all about those political
It's about a whole-
tax collection processes.
But here's one that years and years ago, and I want to say this was in the 70s, there was a Prop 13 that really, really wrecked the homeowners and property tax and so forth. So now there's another variation of that.
Yeah.
But that became a big issue like 5 years later. What Prop 13 did.
Yeah.
It actually, I used to play tennis when I was in college, and when I came out, because Prop 13 made some changes to all the public courts, became you had to pay. And so I actually stopped playing tennis until now. Until about 4 years ago, but that was why I had stopped playing tennis, because you had to go pay.
And that's what I'm talking about these stupid propositions. The propositions are there to benefit a certain group, not us, a certain group. Because think about it. That Proposition 13, a lot of people probably never read the details.
Right.
And they went ahead and they voted on it to tax themselves.
Yeah.
And now, 4 years later, they're finding out that, hey, now you're going to be taxed to play on a tennis court.
Yeah.
Which they didn't even know was included
They didn't
in that
know
proposition.
that's why I read all propositions, even though it's very time consuming, because ultimately it's going to take away something else that you enjoy.
Right.
So you really, really got to read. But like I said, right now when you and 6 months ago, and I think I said this on air, Los Angeles had 53,000 people living on the street, homeless, right?
So now it doubled, right?
It has. It's now 134,000 people living on the streets because they can't afford to live, and that's a right to have shelter.
You know what's amazing? I was watching a documentary. I don't remember, MSNBC. And they were talking about the homelessness. They're saying Los Angeles is the homelessness capital of the world.
Right.
And I'm going, what?
Yeah.
All these rich people here in Hollywood, all these rich
Doesn't
people,
make sense.
and we are the homeless capital of the world.
And one of the reasons is because they actually, when they released those individuals from jail, and they also released a number of individuals from mental health facilities, and they don't have money, so they just dropped them on the street.
They dumped them on the
But
street.
last week, there's this humongous disease running rampant downtown Los Angeles.
Right.
And if I was a property owner and I owned some high rise in downtown Los Angeles, and I came out and all of this stuff is laying in the street, oh my God, I would just be very upset. So
that's ridiculous.
that's something that has to be done. So I really, really studied the props that had anything to do with home ownership. I mean, with renters. I understand that a lot of the homeowners feel that for one of the propositions, I think it's 11, one of them, they were concerned that they weren't going to get their market value rent. But it's way above market value. You can't rent anything in Los Angeles less than $2,500 a month.
Right.
But our employees are not making anything more than maybe 45.
Right.
So you're living just to pay rent, but
crazy.
you haven't dealt with any of your other. Everything else is high. Your utilities are high. You have to have a phone. You have to be able to take your kids to school. You got to have gas. We're not in a situation where we're in New York where you can take subways and that kind of stuff. And that don't work like that yet. Hopefully that's
crazy.
coming. So it's very important. So with all that being said, guys, if you're not voting early, get out there and make sure you vote on November 6th. And that's just on the props. But then on the other side of that, we need you to vote blue because we got to get these lunatics out of the office. Because I'm all stressed. That's why I get up and go to 5 o'clock in the morning just for her to beat me down on the treadmill just so I can breathe.
And that's a very good point you just brought up about voting blue because... And I just want to talk to all you small business owners out there, okay? Now, there was a program, and you notice I say was. There was a program called MBDA, the Minority Business Development Agency, and this is a federal program. This is being sponsored and funded by Washington. Now, when number 45 came into office, he decided that he's going to cut that program, not knowing what the program is about. That program was there to sustain and help many small businesses in the community. Small businesses could have gotten funding for up to $100,000 to run their business, launch an idea, or to hire employees. That program, he's gotten rid of it. So when we're voting, we need to look at those types of things. What type of programs are they cutting? This administration, they are not pro-small business. They're talking about they're pro-business. They're pro their friends from the swamp. You see what I'm saying? They're not pro-small business. So when small businesses go out there to vote, I really, really want small business to pay attention to those things. I don't want to get on my soapbox today, but I'm really, really not happy about because that was a program that I was a part of that program many years ago, and I helped more than 1,000 small businesses become certified with the city of Los Angeles. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, there's a lot of programs.
So when I see them trying to dismantle and get rid of those programs, it really, really affects me.
When I first started my business, there was a program that was as SC. That's how I got to SC. And it was for business entrepreneurs. And it was a certificate program to complete. And that's how I got there was through that. If that hadn't been the case, I was a working individual. There are no scholarships for a working individual to go to USC. So you had to pay that. So, those are things that are very important. And we don't think about that. One of the reasons when I moved to up here to the Crenshaw district, I lived in LA, but where I live now is a incorporated area. So I don't change my ballot. I don't change my mailing address so that I can vote for City of Los Angeles because my business clients and Recycling Black Dollars, I need to be able to vote for things that affect them, not just because county is different. So I made sure. So that's why I
primarily
do things like unincorporated areas.
Now, we're talking about the MBDA, but we know someone very close to us who benefited from that program, and it's now impacting them. Pat Watts, she was on this show.
Oh, really?
She benefited from MBDA.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Many small businesses within our fingertips
so many
are
others
benefiting from these programs that we don't even know about, but they're cutting these programs, and we can't afford to let that happen. So that's why, when we're saying we're voting blue, why are you voting blue?
Right.
You're voting blue because of these reasons, or you're voting red because of these reasons. Now, it doesn't mean that there can't be a Republican that is small business conscious. You see what I mean? But we haven't seen them yet.
Well, right now they're party. They're voting their party, not their conscience.
They're just they're just rubber stamps.
So they going for their.
I know a few of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're going for their party.
So for those of you who are just tuning in, this is not a political show. This is a small business show, and I just want to let you know what the program is all about. The Business Zone is a small business program that's designed to bring small businesses and supply diversity contract providers together so you can gain opportunities. Now, what role do we play? Now, we here, the co-host on this program, we provide training to you small businesses. We help you to become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. That's what Crystal and I do. And we go out, we do accounting, bookkeeping, we do capability statement, marketing. We do infrastructure development, certification, so you can become certified to do government contracts. So that's what this program is all about. So that's why these ridiculous propositions really mean a lot to us, because when those propositions are put in place, your property tax is either going to increase, or they're going to impose certain taxes on you as a small business that's really going to affect your ability to hire small business, to hire employees, or to survive. I just got a tax bill for $2,700. So what the hell is this? $2,700.
One of them secret propositions.
Exactly.
$2,700.
Exactly.
And they're telling me it's a supplemental tax. I've never heard of this. Supplemental. I'm going, supplemental to what? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So now I got to talk to my mortgage company to find out what's going on.
Yes.
Because that's not part of my property. I already pay my property tax.
Yes.
Oh, no, they need more. They need more.
Crazy?
So we're at the bottom of the hour right now.
Well, now that you off, can we get Dawn to just tell us what she did last week?
Oh, no, we're going to stay right here. Let's end on this eye.
So Dawn, tell me what you did last week.
Oh, I was just working on The Blend, the new show called The Blend that I'm super excited about. I thank God for the opportunity. So we were filming.
Tell the audience a little bit about The Blend.
So the show is about 4 African-American women that are doctors, and they are just speaking into the lives of our community as it relates to the mind, body, and spirit. So the show is just about healing from the inside out. I'm the fitness resident on that expert on the show, and I'm just here to help you make exercising fun, because I believe if it's fun, you do it for a lifetime. So I'm going to give you all the information you need to build the body that you desire and have fun while you're doing it, make great diet choices, and live healthy.
That's
and
what
full.
I'm talking about.
So that's The Blend.
So you were busy doing blend stuff.
Yes, and then getting my own platform ready. So you'll hear, I lived one of my dreams today.
Oh, yeah? Tell
God
me
is
about
so
it.
good.
She'll tell you about it.
I'll tell you about that shortly. I'm so excited about our guest. I had the opportunity. And I told him a few weeks ago that my dream is to share the stage with you. And I shared the classroom with him today. I was so proud.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
I've just been proud of her. She did a lot of stuff this week. I'm so proud of her.
I did a lot of stuff. I put me first this week.
She did. She put her first.
That's
And then
good.
I come into the gym this morning at 6 o'clock, and she goes, "You need to be praying to Jesus when you get done today." I'm like, "Oh, wow."
She did great today. I put her on the stair climber. The stair climber is a beast by itself. So to have the stair climber and then have to get off the stair climber and work with me, I just need her to be ready.
She had to be squatting with
She was awesome. She was great.
and
I'm just trying to get her married off. I'm trying to help her find her blue thing.
Audience, I know that you support this health cause and everything like that, but I'm sorry, I can't be a part of the program. She's a beast. She is a beast. I'm afraid of her.
I trained a 74-year-old man that has back issues.
Oh my
I
Lord.
invited Gilbert to hang out with us. He's scared.
with the 7-year-old.
With the 74-year-old.
No, she's too much for me to handle.
And he's afraid. No, I'm not. I'm going to meet you right where you are. I'm going to match your energy. If you bring it, I'm going to bring it. If you're a little relaxed, I'm going to relax.
I went on YouTube when I saw a video of her, and I'm going, is that Dawn? She was a beast. She was lifting like 400 pounds, and she goes, I'm going, no.
Was that all? Just 400 pounds?
Oh, it's probably
You need
more.
to count
Probably
again.
600.
She was beating people up in the gym this morning.
She was, man.
Oh, really? We had a fight in the gym. It was really sad.
It was wild in the gym this morning.
So, you're right. Just like you, I can't wait to see our next guest on the show to tell us a little bit about his insights and his creative ideas. So
we still can't miss the young lady that's coming before him.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we have.
She's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
I'll tell you all about her.
Oh,
She's
wow.
awesome.
Yeah, so
She's
we're gonna bring her on first, and then so we're gonna take a quick break.
Take a quick
And
break.
we just got a great lineup today.
Great lineup.
I can't wait. I can't
Alrighty.
wait. So you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Dawn.
and Gilbert Buchanan. You're a small business paramedic. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186. Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing.
Business Zone with
Crystal,
Dawn,
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And we've got a very special guest who popped in today that we really needed to put on the air. He's been helping us out with our program for quite a while now. He's been amazing and phenomenal in terms of my promotional videos. He's a video producer, creator, film director, everything you can think of. He's done quite a few movies for some of the Hollywood types. So we just want to go ahead and introduce this fine young gentleman right now so he can tell us a little bit about some of the work that he's doing and so how you can get a hold of him. This gentleman, his name is Mr. Zarian Hadley, and he is phenomenal. So without further ado, Mr. Hadley, welcome to the Business Zone.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, y'all. Y'all are hilarious, man.
You think?
You think so?
Who's the funniest?
The quintessential. You're gonna get me in trouble. Quintessential of edutainment.
Yeah, edutainment. I love that.
Edutainment.
I love that.
That's a key word in a black community.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Because we know how to entertain.
that's
Yeah, we
right.
do.
But we educate them too.
We look because education is more important.
That's
than ever.
right. That's
They
right.
messed up when they made internet.
That's what
They
I'm
did.
talking about.
Oh, did they ever? Oh boy, did they ever? 'Cause I used to have to research through papers
You know what I'm
and
saying?
books. Now I got everything right at the
Everything
fingertip.
right there,
Not lying.
social media, right?
And to piggyback off of that, you can't unring a bell.
That's
Can't
right.
unring a
Can't
bell.
unring a
That's
bell.
right.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know, because once it's out there, it's out out there.
It's
Yes,
out
it
there.
is. It is.
So did you mention that Zarian did your commercial?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Mr.
That's
Hadley
awesome.
here, he helped me with my promo.
Okay, I like it.
And he shoots most of our workshops. He does the footage, and as a matter of fact, he's working on putting together some more promos for me. LaRon, I don't know if you have that video there we could look at real quickly just to get a taste of his work, the promo. So,
Y'all professional.
so, oh yeah,
Very professional.
oh yeah, that's how we do, man.
That's how we do it.
So let's take a look at this promotional real quick. Excellent. Are you contract ready? Are you bank loan ready? So I want to know how business ready you guys are. Part of what we want to do is to match you up with contract providers in Vegas, the casinos.
We put together this training for the contractors in Las Vegas to assist them in becoming business ready.
You know, when you first start a small business, the thing you're the shortest on is resources. So the association is actually providing the training free.
Now, Buchanan Associates, they're very well known throughout the U.S., mainly out of the California region, but they have produced so many successful companies that we felt if we brought them here to train our people, that it would allow for that growth because we have so many public works type projects, stadiums that are going to be built, slated between now and the next 2 years, prepared to be able to do that work.
So that's
That's
just
good.
a
Good
small
job.
portion of his handiwork. And as a matter of fact, we're getting a lot of props in Vegas from this. People love it.
Hey.
They want to know who produced it.
You did.
Oh, no, you did. So I've been telling a lot of people about this, and, you know, thanks to you, I really appreciate it. I know you've done some Hollywood work also. You want to tell the audience a little bit about some of that work?
A little bit. I mean, I guess I hail from Cincinnati. Shout out to 45240. All my people from Cincinnati and Forest Park.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, I've been out in LA since like 2003.
Yeah.
And started from the bottom, just working as a PA, and then to it was a show called Mr. Romance on the Oxygen Network. Yeah, and then from there I jumped into the Contender. I started off as a camera tech. That was with Sylvester Stallone and Sugar Ray Leonard. They hosted that show.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
The first Contender.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah,
I
it was on
remember that.
ESPN at that time. I was just a camera tech, so I was like, learning how to run cable and set up video villages and
Yeah.
things
Right.
like that. Then I got on a show called Trading Spouses. You guys
Okay.
remember Trading Spouses?
Yes, yes.
Like the knockoff of wife swap.
Yeah.
And that's where I started getting on the road and learn how to build video villages and set up video stations in remote places.
Yeah.
We spent like 9 days in each city, and we were on the road for like 70 days.
I love that.
I cut my teeth on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good, man. That's good.
Awesome.
And then from there, I mean, fast forward, I spent like 7, 8 years on Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
That's a
man.
good show.
We got a superstar here with us, man, on set.
No, I won't say that. But the beauty
That
of it
is
is the
good.
beauty of it is though, I love working with the community.
Yeah.
Because what was happening is I found myself being crafted into being a storyteller with the lens.
Yeah.
Right.
So now
Yes.
I take pleasure in shooting our stories.
Yeah.
Because there's
Right.
so many. I was at a Jamie Foxx show one day, and I remember him saying, it's so many stories that are untold.
Yeah.
We need to shoot our stories.
That's
We
true.
do. We do.
And
Exactly.
you can't let someone else tell your story. You
Right.
got to tell your own, because
Right.
otherwise they're going to tell it with their interpretation.
Right.
Yeah.
Got to tell your own story.
So
Yes.
now it's all about just controlling the narrative with the visual.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I love it.
we definitely want you to do some work with us here on the Business Zone and
Absolutely.
help us out.
Yeah.
And take us to that stardom level.
You got that.
Like you do.
Me and my mans was talking in the back.
Yeah.
So you're doing all your own editing too?
Well, I have a team. Army of Thinkers is my team.
Okay.
Hood News, Hassan Hayes, Job Berry.
Okay.
So it's a clique of us. Right
I
now.
need to talk to you after the show. I'm doing something. I got kind of stuck. Maybe you can help me.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, definitely. Always good.
And
Today.
After I get my daughter.
after you get your daughter.
We'll give you his number so that he can.
She may be on the road today.
Oh,
Very good.
congratulations, Dad.
So
Awesome.
you want to do a shout out to your daughter?
Yeah, Queens out here. I love you. Keep on doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? With 3.0, you can go into any college.
That's what I'm
Absolutely.
talking about.
That's
So
fantastic.
they got what they call a 3.0 club. So there are 4 of them
Yeah.
who got their 3.0,
All her friends got 3.0.
Yeah,
all of her friends. This is a Kodak moment. I got to take this picture.
That is awesome.
All y'all hang together. All y'all got 3.0.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's
wow.
It took me to go to college before I got a 3.0.
I hear that.
She was 7th grade, busting them out. So
I hear
That's
that, man.
beautiful.
Well, that's fantastic. So this is your passion.
Yeah, this is my passion. I also love music, but I think it's more important for me to get behind the visual because I can always add the music too, but the visual is.
Question: Who picked the song? It couldn't have been him. Did you pick the song?
He liked what I
It
picked.
could have been Gilbert. You picked the song, right? He's like, no, that ain't Gilbert. It was like trying to figure out.
Well, actually, when he picked it, I'm going, oh, this is probably a little too edgy. Is this too funky? This is probably a little too edgy for my audience. But then I listened to it, I said, damn, this sounds good. Because, I tested it, right? So I played it for some people who don't get into hip-hop, and I saw them moving. I'm going, if I can get them moving to this, people are going to love it. And they loved it.
Yeah, that's a throwback, Herb Alpert.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good stuff.
Also, what he didn't tell you, I'm sure Crystal can tell you too, the theme song, our theme song for the Business Zone, which started out when we first started
the one that you're singing?
Yeah. He is a part. There you go. He's a part of it.
He's a part of that?
Yeah. The harmony that you hear, that's him.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
The harmony, that's him.
The reggae star over here.
Oh, wow.
I'm a businessman. That's him.
Hey,
so
what is you?
I need the remix to that. I need y'all to come up with a remix.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Give me a beat behind that.
This dude is talented, man.
Actually, he was a recording artist in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Back in the day,
he was a recording.
Ain't too late to live your dreams, though.
If it's in you, you can always bring it out.
That's true, man.
Yes.
Every time I hear certain songs, I get the itch. I'm going, I need to perform. I need to record.
Oh, I do that too.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to do your passion, though. It's very, very important. Yeah. So you were telling me earlier today that TEDx Crenshaw is now a contract of yours?
Yeah, this is a contract of a 3rd year doing TEDx Crenshaw.
So you're going to be filming me doing my TEDx, huh?
Are you doing TEDx?
Yeah, I'm speaking out into existence. I just put it on out there.
Shout out to Zanetta.
Of course I am.
You guys know Zanetta Smith?
Yes.
Shout out to Zanetta because she know how to put it together.
Yeah.
And Russell Ellis, her co-star in the show. Yeah.
We got some powerful stuff. People in our community doing some big things, but because everything is so segmented, we don't know. We're all disconnected, so we don't know who's doing what, and that's one of the things that we need to.
Well, that's correct. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna challenge everybody. We're doing it now.
Yeah.
Right now, we're talking about it, and this show right here, the Business Zone. You guys are spinning the web. You guys are gluing those pieces together. Yeah. And as long as we continue to do it, that's what we put out there. Yeah. That's what we continue to produce.
Right. Exactly.
I just power now thing. But now I say, I don't say, man, one day I want to get to this point. I heard Jim Brown say one time. He said, life is a journey, not a destination.
That's true.
Right.
So we produce what we think in our mind. So I'm excited about the journey of me being the great cinematographer. I'm excited about us coming together. I'm excited about Wakanda's everywhere.
Yeah,
this is a Wakanda right here.
No doubt.
Wakanda. And what does Dr. Claude Anderson says in the Power Network? The 5th level of connection is media. That's being able to tell our own story.
We have to control the narrative.
We have to control the narrative.
Look at what the right wing doing.
Right, exactly.
They buying up stations. So we got to use our platform to keep connecting the dots.
Right.
And everyone here as a guest today, that's what we're doing. We're creating, we are stakeholders in our truth and making sure that we're educating our children,
telling
our own story to make sure that they're empowered so that they can reach their dreams and work in their passion. I think it's so important, and that they know that they're kings and queens,
yes, absolutely,
or princesses and princes to be kings and queens, and that has to come from us.
Yes,
we have to tell our story, so that's very, very important because there's so many people out there, and even some of us are telling this morning, and this is a quick story. I was online, and there was and usually the lady that's posting on Facebook, she's giving our history, which is usually pretty cool. But this morning when I woke up and I was looking, she was, kind of giving, balancing out slavery with Irish indentured slaves, servants. And she was pushing this home, and this guy kept coming back with facts, and she kept going, yeah, but 2 rights don't make it wrong. It's like, whoa, lady. And she kept saying, but black people are not the only ones that were slaves. But I ain't caring about anybody else. I'm only caring about us.
Right.
You know, when you look at the Jewish Holocaust, they ain't concerned about our 18 million that were killed.
Yeah, right.
They're concerned about the 6 million of them.
Yeah.
And so finally, I got her to shut down because she kept going on about the Irish and that, you know, we should feel for them as well. It's like, let me back this up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I do know my family history, and I do know the man that came over to this country who was a thief and came over here, and they allowed him to become a general or a lieutenant in the military. And at the same time, his grandson is the one that was the owner of my great-grandmother. So he was Irish. He had a comeback. My folks didn't have a comeback. So when I did the story, because I got the clippings, I put it up on Facebook. That shut that down.
And we the only ones who had to, over here, was forced to speak another language, but was illegal to read or write it.
Right, exactly.
What kind of mess is that?
And so this one guy kept talking about that, and she kept going, no, but.
Like Harry Tubman said, I saved 1,000, but I could say a lot more.
If they had only known they were slaves.
Come on, talk about it.
That they weren't freed.
What nationality was she?
Black. I had to go on her,
crazy part.
and I was so confused. I'm thinking, maybe this is a Russian bot.
Right.
so I actually had to go on and dig through her pictures and look through some information and some other posts to see if she was black, to make sure she was black.
Right.
Trolls.
Right. So finally I told her, I said, if you have not gone to the museum, the African American Smithsonian Museum in Washington, you need to go.
Right.
Because when you come back, you won't be trying to balance our Holocaust with anybody else's Holocaust. You'll be dealing with your own.
She's still color struck.
Color struck. So,
well, we're still going through that right now. It's ongoing. So.
Dr. Anthony Broder.
Yeah.
Yes.
He says all of us are victims of stolen identity.
Yeah.
So some people, the indoctrination is stronger than others. So they're victims. So you kind of like, you know, saying you got to just pray for them or talk to them or spoon feed them because sometimes it's information overload.
There's actually, and this has been trending all week long, and this is David's area. There's a young girl. She's 11. I think she's 11, 12 years old. She was on Dr. Phil the other day, and so she is convinced that she's white. And she's brown skinned, African nose, the whole bit. In her mind, she is white.
I'm learning about that. I'm learning about the social construct that was created to create more division.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you from the islands? Are you from Africa? Are you Black American? It's just more ways to divide.
Right.
Yeah.
So Willie Lynch, baby.
Yeah. So this young lady, young girl, and she is all over the internet saying that and just very prolific about the fact I'm white, and her mother is like, no, you're not, and yes, I am.
Well, she can
get a job with Trump. She can get a job with Trump.
She'll get a wake up call. She'll get a wake up call.
It'll be sad for her.
It will, because she's gonna go to college, and that white roommate is gonna ask to be transferred to another room, and life is gonna be hard after
She's gonna realize, oh, I'm black.
I'm black. Whoa, wait a minute. No, why'd you tell me that, Mama?
She's gonna start seeing that power and privilege associated with just one group.
But
She'll see it.
And
her eyes will be open.
Her eyes will be open. So that's why it's so important that we teach our children to be proud of who they are, to know their history, so that they know what to draw from, the struggles.
Right.
And today, if any of us, all of us that are sitting here, there's one of our ancestors suffered greatly for us to be here.
Yes.
And so it's no excuse for all of us.
No excuse.
Now you know why we got Crystal on the show. Crystal, she got that history book right in her mind.
Crystal, one thing I want to add to what you said that I don't hear, I can't stand when I hear it, when people talking about, on this date was when the first slave was brought to this country. A lot of us was already here.
Oh, we were here.
For over 10,000 years.
Yeah.
Dr. Ivan Van Sertima talks about it, and they came before Columbus.
Yeah.
Y'all know the big stone heads, the Olmec heads?
Yeah.
The carbon data on those heads is dated back to 10,000 years. We were back here building edifices 10,000 years ago. We were marine time all around the world.
Yeah.
And that's been washed away. So re-education is because it's been systemic to keep us out of the books.
Like you say, my brother, education.
Right.
Let's do that.
Education.
Edutainment.
Edutainment.
So let's do that.
Is so important.
So now I know you got to run.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just want to say 2 quick things before we let you go. Bo Money. You've done some work with her also.
She had me with filming Gary Payton the other day.
Bo Money, Bonita.
Bonita Money.
That's the cannabis lady. She's making a movement for women.
Social equity program.
Social equity for women in the cannabis industry. So she's doing some big stuff.
And brothers. We've been criminalized for years, and now billions of other folks are making billions of dollars. So if we don't manage to leverage ourselves, we can be shut out.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
You can just smoke a joint, legally, but you're not making the billions that the other folks are making. So you got to learn how to get into it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What was the other thing?
So, and coming up on Tuesday, I've got a workshop with Glack, and you're going to be there videotaping that workshop as well. I think Crystal is going to be there as well. So that's another gig. Do you have any other gigs coming up?
Well, we do My Society, where it's like an entertainer's playground where we support and promote the arts right in Hot and Cool Cafe. Hot and Cool Cafe. Every second Sunday.
That's where the 2 black brothers.
Yeah, 2 brothers.
Yes, Hot and Cool Cafe.
Shout out to Hot and Cool Cafe.
Hot and Cool.
I must have been saying.
She's not saying.
She's doing a shout out to her husband, right?
Hot and Cool.
What's your favorite thing over there?
Them legs I saw behind the counter.
Those hot and cool legs.
Them glutes. I saw those hamstring gluteus I saw from behind that counter.
Oh, my God.
That's what I'm talking about. Excuse me. I need to...
So I guess I'll see you there at My Society on second Sundays.
No, I stay away from that joint. I'm trying to live holy. I stay away. Jesus. I teach Sunday school.
So Zarian, I want to thank you for coming on the Business Zone with us today.
So much. Thank you.
You've been working behind the scenes for us, so we just wanted to bring you to the forefront so our audience can see who you are and what you've been doing for us.
Man, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
And we're
thank you for coming.
To doing
I'm
what
call
we
you
do.
later.
And we're looking forward to the promo you're going to do for us and filming me so I can have some film.
I'm going to be in that video with
One last shout out to Holly Carter and Robbie Reed and Tracy Blackwell, the Merge Summit Awards.
Merge Summit.
They're doing a whole lot of things. They hired us to film that.
Very good.
And,
great.
Pastor Dwayne Cheney, Maisha Cheney, they've been
excellent.
Keeping us moving, keeping us working and grooving.
We just got to keep doing work. Got to keep doing work. Let's do it.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
So that was Mr. Zarian Hadley, and @1 film producer, videographer.
How can they find you? Where can they reach you?
You can email me, ZARIANH@gmail.
How about a phone number? Do you have a phone number?
ZarianH@gmail. Yeah, hit me up. 323.
Calling you at home?
Email me.
Give us the email one more time.
One more time. ZARIANH@gmail.
Awesome.
Beautiful. So we're at the top of the hour right now, and you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal,
Don,
and Gilbert Buchanan, and our very special guest, Mr. Zarian Hadley.
Awesome.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
right.
Reload.
Take a break.
Hello. Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money.
You trying to see her?
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal,
Dawn,
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And Crystal, who do we have in the studio today?
actually, Dawn is going to do the honors.
All
well, I am
right.
super excited about our next guest because she is also my client with an amazing story. After teaching 5th grade math and receiving a dreaded pink slip, Tanya Holmes McGree gathered her pride and her retirement money and started Ed Experience Child Development Center, a preschool located in South Central Los Angeles that the community is talking about and the world will soon hear of. I'm so excited about the lady. She was armed with just a degree, a multiple subject credential in her faith, and she pursued her dreams. And today, wow, what's amazing. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tanya
Thank
McGree.
you for having
Welcome
me.
to the
Thank
Business
you.
Zone.
Welcome. It's children have always been my passion, and I think I shared with her. You guys weren't here yet. That I actually was going to open up a daycare until I calculated that I would be there from 6 to 7 every night, and I had to give it up. So, my sister, I give you my props.
Much respect. Much respect. Yes.
But it's so important that our children's minds are activated at a very young age, and they're like little sponges. And so, and if they're children of color, they need to hear. They should learn from a person that looks like them.
Yes, I agree.
So the name of your program is Special
Experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
I thought that was a unique name. Did you trademark that yet?
I did not.
You should trademark that.
Okay.
We've had that conversation.
Okay, because
Don's going to give me the information.
yeah, because you could hear someone pop up with the same name just down the street and down the city across there. You can't own it because they own it because they registered it. You see what I mean?
Yes.
I think it's a very unique name.
Thank you.
And I think you should jump on it and get a trademark.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
there's so many. She just built so much just on the whole the uniqueness of the name.
Yeah.
And so, how did you come up with the name? Was good.
Well, I taught 5th grade for many years, South Central LA, 93rd and San Pedro. And what I found is there's 3 types of learning styles: kinesthetic, which is hands-on, auditory, and visual. Myself, I'm kinesthetic, so I learn through doing. And I found that a lot of the children that I was teaching in South Central learned through doing as well. I would take lessons that related to their lives or the music that they were listening to and teach the lessons that way. So if I was teaching metaphors, I would use a Tupac song, and similes, I would use Erykah Badu. So I would try to take things that they could relate to teach the lesson. And so experience actually comes from the word educate and experiences. So we're educating them through their experiences.
Wow.
So we teach science monthly, and whatever science we teach, we make sure that we expose them to it either hands-on or we take them on a trip so that they can relate to what we taught them on paper.
That is so amazing.
And how old are the babies?
Ages 2 to 6.
Ooh, love it.
And that age, they're sponges. They
Yes,
just
they
suck
are.
up everything,
yes,
right?
They are. Yes, they are.
I
We're
love
teaching the 3 states of matter now. And I thought it would be kind of above their heads,
Yeah.
but they get it. They understand it.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a book that you've written or something?
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not
you're
yet.
working on it,
Yes,
though.
I am.
Oh, that because what you're doing is so perfect for having a book that goes along with that.
Yeah. She's in the process of building her curriculum right now because right now she has a waiting list for both of her locations.
Wow.
Her school's actually getting a lot of recognition for the way she teaches. Right now, your kids are what ages again?
Ages 2 to 6.
2 to 6.
And they are reading on what level?
they're reading at least, when they leave us, they're at least 1 to 2 years ahead. So we had two kids last year. One little girl was supposed to advance to 2nd grade, and she skipped to 3rd.
You know,
we had two kids that skipped to 3rd.
Every time I hear about business, my mind start going. I start thinking about opportunities. So you do know that what you do, there are grants out there for that.
They're so hard to get.
I know
that's not true. She and I had the conversation.
Yeah.
I wrote a grant.
Yeah.
I wrote a grant. I went after a grant, wrote it, sent it in. They never called me. Walked into my studio. It was a $20,000 grant on the floor for me. I almost went to cardiac arrest. Yeah. They're easy. Yeah. When you got favor.
See, to
I just need you to do it.
It seemed difficult because they don't know the process.
You're just scared.
So just do it. Just do it. Because what you're doing, so many schools can benefit because you're preparing them for the next level.
Yeah. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And there's a lot of grants, easy grants to get when you're doing something for kids.
Yeah.
Kids are the easiest things to get for.
So let me tell you. So last year, I think I mentioned to you, I teach an entrepreneurial program. It's a 3-week intensive program for kids between the ages of 11 and 18. We're teaching them how to be entrepreneurs. Yeah. And so the intensive, they actually come, they know nothing about business. Mm-hmm. And when we finish, they've completed a business plan and they're competing like in a Shark Tank environment. Yeah. So we do this in June. We raised $85,000 in 3 weeks. So tell me the money's not there.
No, I need to talk to you.
Yes, you guys need to talk. Because not only did she do that, but she also was able to get Norm
Nixon came out
from the Lakers to be a part of that program.
Yeah, he did the keynote on for our 2nd class. We did 2 classes this year, and now so starting in January, we're kicking off an entrepreneurial club. So all the kids that have come through our camp over the we've been doing this for 13 years. So the ones that are in college, we're creating a camp, an entrepreneur club for the millennials and the ones that already have started businesses or concepts of a business, and then the ones that have been there for that next round. So really, really important right now is entrepreneurship and teaching our kids how, because just think about it, if our kids had started their own business in 5th grade, right? And by the time they go to college, they're paying for their own school.
So I mentioned earlier today, I don't know if you guys saw the episode with Steve Harvey brought in the young kids who started a construction company. They're flipping houses.
Really?
The oldest one is maybe 9.
Wow.
And there's 4 of them.
Wow.
And they had the dream. They had saw an episode of the Steve Harvey show and told their mothers, we want to start a company. And they started a company. Wow. The little girl's the CEO. She's feisty. She's driven. She reminds me of myself and Krista put together. Little girls making moves. But and then there are three young boys that work with her, and the parents are just letting them do whatever. One guy's laying the cement, one guy's just the construction, and he contracts out.
Wow.
Oh, you have to go watch the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Go to YouTube and Google Steve Harvey Kids Entrepreneurs. It is phenomenal.
Oh, I gotta
These
see
little
that.
kids, the conversation they're having.
Oh, these kids
are dynamic.
When I was in Kansas a couple of weeks ago for that speaker training that I was in, so they started a speaking bureau for the juniors as well. So there was one little girl that was there, and they gave her an award. And so she was saying she had her first business when she was 8, and she had created a lip balm, and the reason she did was because her father wouldn't give her the money to buy some, so she went in the kitchen and created her own lip balm. And so she created her own balm. I'm thinking, why does that story sound so familiar? Well, during the camp in the summer, I showed that clip to my kids. That was the very first clip that I showed them to kick off the camp. Yeah. So then I went, wait a minute. And she was from Buffalo and I was from Buffalo. I'm thinking, wait, all of this is deja vu. What's happening here? Then it turned out she's had 3 books. She's 14 years old. 3 books, and this is her 3rd business. So her mother has a group called Mogul Moms because she said her kid was so different from everybody else. She started reaching across the country to find out other kids and other moms that had the similar situation. So turns out there's one of the kids that was in our camp. Her name is Shy, Shy Tasana. So Tasana has a nail polish that's organic, and the little girl has just been out there doing her thing for the last 4 or 5 years.
Phenomenal.
So our kids are amazing.
So what if you wanted to start an entrepreneurial an entrepreneurial type of class or after school program with your kids, that'd be funded right away.
Yeah, that would be
you would get a
amazing.
lot of people to pour into that financially.
Wow.
You know,
So-
here's what I'm going to do for you. I have about 4 funders who fund nonprofit. I will send you a list of that.
Thank you.
Here,
So
just
you
write me a
can
check.
reach
Just
out.
write me a check. We'll get on the show. Just I told you, hang with me for going places. I said, just come on the show. I have to drag her here. Just write me anything. That's it. That's all I ask.
Anything, right?
and the academics, when you incorporate, so you're already about experience.
Yeah.
You're already
Yes.
about doing.
Yes.
So when you incorporate a business that uses math, that uses English,
Yeah.
that uses communication,
Right.
oh, they get it like that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and,
I'm
and
so excited
so
for you. I'm
it
gonna
would be
cry.
amazing. So it already fits. It fits with what you're already doing. And I come in and teach the children. I actually have.
No,
a
I'm
private
teaching the kids. I'm just joking. We're both teaching.
with most but yeah, so I have a pilot program, and I think I mentioned to you that I kicked off a couple years ago, and they're called Junior Tycoons. And
I
so-
told her how wonderful you are. I already told her.
Yeah, so the
In a
kids,
hateful way, but I did.
but children, I just love when they get up and they promote their businesses and they're pitching their businesses, and I mean they're just on point. And so it's just an awesome experience.
I think what you're doing is so phenomenal.
Thank
Now,
you.
where is your place of business located?
So the first location is on Budlong in Manchester. So it's 1145 West Manchester.
Right.
And I opened a second location about 2 years ago on Slauson and 2nd Ave.
Both of them are full, and we have a third location that we're partnering together to do. The third
So when's
location
the
is
third
coming
location?
soon. Isn't that exciting?
I am actually in the process of starting an enrichment tutoring center, not a couple of blocks down on Crenshaw, to kind of get the kids in the neighborhood who need tutoring and enrichment.
This is so amazing.
Yeah, I have a neighbor, she's had a program for, 20 years now, and it's a tutoring program. She's just moved over on Crenshaw, educating young minds, I think, EYD. Her name is Angela,
Oh, wow.
Angelise
Okay.
Echols, and so she's been doing it for about 20 years.
Okay.
And
Tanya has young children herself. How old are your 2 boys?
Oh,
Her youngest baby? She got babies.
I have a 2-year-old
Whoa.
and a 4-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
So-
how old are your other 2?
10 and 22.
And her 22-year-old is going to law school.
She's prepping for her law test now.
Fantastic.
So she did really well, finished college early, and so now she's prepping it.
But listen to this. They're actually in the process of looking for a building for her 20-year-old to buy.
Really?
First piece of real estate.
Fantastic. Go ahead,
So
Mom.
Tanya says she's
You
super
are
mom.
just
I
doing
love
some
her.
things.
This is my new bestie.
She just kick you to the side.
No,
I know.
I got about 3 or 4.
got
Okay,
quite
maybe
good.
6.
It keeps increasing. So I'll take your 4 and your 10 for tennis,
Yes.
Okay.
because we started at
I'm
3.
just straight hooking you up.
So we'll take them for tennis. So we love to get more. I mean, that's what our program is about.
Okay.
So yeah, we've already talked about. She's close enough to just drop the kids on over and get.
That's
And then
good
you can
stuff.
come play with us as adults because we have our own coach, our own thing. We do our own
That's
thing, and it's
good
good for the
stuff.
kids to see the parents
Okay.
participate.
Okay.
Do you
Never
play
invited me.
tennis? She
That's
play
cool.
tennis?
No, I've never played tennis.
Okay.
it's
so,
not a hard thing.
So Crystal will teach you.
Okay.
The thing I love
It's good
about what you're
exercise.
doing
No,
is
that's not exercise. You train with me in the morning at 5. That's not exercise. That's fun.
I'm not leaving.
Okay. Cutting into my money. To make me get up in here.
No, you need
My
her
husband
for the
will-
endurance and the legs on
Yes,
the tennis
yes.
court. So you can't get rid of her.
now you know why I'm afraid of her. She's a beast.
But it's so wonderful. We like I said, educators of young children is so
Yeah.
important to making sure that our children get the foundation that they need,
Yes.
and that they have that quest and that thirst to learn.
What made me do it is I taught 5th grade for many years in South Central Los Angeles. Loved it. I taught in Los Angeles. I taught in Compton. And, you hear people say that, the kids aren't reading or they're below grade level with the reading. But to actually see it it's heartbreaking.
It is.
I had a little boy. We did this big read thing where everyone goes into the auditorium and you get a book and you read. And so the teacher kept walking over to him asking, "Why aren't you reading your book? Why are your eyes wandering around the auditorium? Everyone else is reading." And so he whispers to her that he couldn't read. So he's 5th grade.
Wow.
And it broke my heart.
Yeah.
So my goal was to place the experience in the neighborhood where I could get those kids at an early age and to give them what they need and to we make it fun and to get them ahead of the game. Everyone's not on one level. So you have one class. And I actually write the curriculum. When I first started out, I started with a curriculum that we were purchasing, and it wasn't rigorous enough. It didn't challenge their critical
wasn't targeted.
thinking. Yeah, and it just didn't. The critical thinking wasn't there. It was color the picture. So now what I do is it takes a lot of time for both campuses. I make every single worksheet. I make every single homework sheet that goes home, and you may have a class of 14. There's maybe 5 different levels in that class, so I'm making work for 5 different levels of kids, and the teachers are teaching my curriculum. So what I do is I make the work, I prep it for the next week, I put it in folders that say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The teachers go into their classrooms. They were trained to teach the way, I showed them to teach the stuff on the walls, the skills on the walls, and they do their hands-on, something fun. And then they take their seat work from the folder that I've created and pass it to each kid so they have their interactive part of the class, and then they have the part of the class where they're actually doing the hands-on work on paper.
That is
fantastic.
Awesome. That is awesome.
It is
So
amazing.
all of that's
That is awesome.
copywritten, trademark.
I haven't.
I gave the trademark attorney's information. She's working on it.
At first, I just kept copying and kind of tossing it, but I've started to build a book, and people are saying I need to publish.
It sounds like you need to do a consultation with us.
I do.
So,
I noticed. I do.
Yeah, so we can do a sit down because a lot of small, and I'll just throw this in there real quick. A lot of small businesses, they don't realize the value of their business and they lose a lot of money, leave it on the table because they don't know. One of the first things that I want small businesses to know, besides doing their DBA and getting either articles of incorporation or article of organization, whether you're a corporation or LLC, is to trademark your company name and the logo. Then you copyright any materials that you've written, any material, or if you have songs, because I know you probably create songs with these kids.
Yes.
You got to copyright that too. Trust me. Take it from me, okay? I'm a singer, right? Songwriter, and I made that mistake. I've recorded songs, and it goes out there on the air, and I didn't copyright it. And guess what? There are producers in New York right now that's benefiting from my song. I got songs on the internet right now that I'm not even being paid for. You see what I mean?
So you want to get his number? And then and have him consult with you so we can get you all right. And we just want to thank you so much for coming out. And we're going to do some stuff together. Let's see what we can do is to create a program for the kids. And the 3 of us. And making sure that the babies are taken care of.
So you want to tell the audience again your number so they can get a hold of you or your contact
There's 2 locations. First location is 1145 West Manchester, and that's at Manchester and Budlong. And that one actually does have a waiting list. Slauson has some room because that one is the newly opened campus. That's at Slauson and 2nd Ave. The telephone number where we can be reached is 323-750-5561. And please follow us on Instagram, Facebook at The Edsperience. So that's educating through their experiences, THEEDSPERIENCE. And you can also email us at theedsperience@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. And we'll definitely be getting together and doing some stuff together with the 3 of us.
And we promise we'll give Donna royalties.
These 2 here be fighting for my stuff. Fighting for my stuff.
So thank you so much for being on the Business Zone.
Thank you
So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to bring our next guest up. He's also someone that is passionate about what he does, works with the kids.
Yeah.
So this is the day of just that foundation line of people and consultants that's just doing what we love to do.
Definitely.
All right, so we'll be right back.
Take a break.
Here we go.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186. Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro.
So we're back on the air. We're on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Single Dawn.
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. We're having a ball in the studio today. Don is our resident comedian.
You got a whole crew.
So we have some new guests in the studios that Crystal and Don will tell us all about.
Right, and you, Gilbert, weren't here the last time that David was in the studio.
No,
you were
I missed
out of town,
it. I was
and
in
he
Vegas.
was just awesome. He had a friend with him, Life. He was off the chain, and we didn't get to hear from you, so we will get to hear from you this time. But these guys, they have a commitment to young people and talk about entrepreneurship and living their dream. So this is Mr. David Shands. He's an inspiration to anyone with an idea to create what doesn't yet exist. From an employee to employer, David worked in various customer-oriented industries, all while building his own apparel business. He coined the phrase, "Sleep is for suckers," starting out with wristbands and a cool story later evolving into a clothing line and a way of life. And with entrepreneurship being his overarching area of expertise, he works to inspire and uplift many with his brand tagline, "If you lose sleep doing what you love, you will eventually live the dream that you only would have dreamt." So welcome, Mr. David Shands.
Happy to be here. So am I here?
Glad that you're here. So you got a new book since you came back the second time around.
Yes,
huh?
it's brand new. Okay, I released it in 2015, but it's brand new.
Yes.
But when you came here before, we were talking about sleep is for suckers, though.
That's my clothing brand. But the book is how I went from working at the Cheesecake Factory to being a full-time entrepreneur through building the clothing brand Sleep is for Suckers. But the principles in that book are just amazing. And it's helped a lot of people quit their job and really start living off of their dreams. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So who is the gentleman next to you?
Big Ray. Big Ray. I guess you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, because I didn't have your information. So tell us all about you, Big Ray.
I don't think we have enough time.
Well, tell us the clip note version.
So my name is Raymond Keffer. I go by Big Ray, and I like to share my story of my weight loss journey.
Okay.
And so I'm down about 80 pounds. I'm trying to get to 100. It's been a struggle.
Oh, wow.
But what we do, my company, J&K Fresh, we handle imports that come into the country. And my family founded the Keffer Foundation. And so that's kind of how me and David clicked up. And I didn't know exactly what we wanted to do, but I know I wanted to change lives. And so we started speaking at schools, and it was a lot of schools, and I looked at David and I said, man, this is good, but what are we really doing? Why don't we pick one school, partner with it, and let's see how many lives we can change. Yeah. And so we partner with Kane Area Center. They're in Culver City. They're a school that basically handles kids with special needs, K through 12.
Oh, fantastic.
And so they basically picked us. They're kids that needed the most, I don't want to label them as problem child because that's what the world does, but they gave us their kids that needed the most help. And we're now in our 4th month working with them.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Seeing we had one kid that got kicked out of the program for fighting. Mid-session, mid-training, just a fight breaks out. And me and Life had to break that fight up. And our rule is, if you fight and get sent to the principal's office, you're out of the program. Right. And so since 2 months later, this kid has changed his ways completely, became captain of the football team, and was literally begging for us to let him back in the program, literally in the hallway crying with his teacher.
Wow.
And so we couldn't say no to that. So seeing that type of transformation in the short time that we've been there, it's purely phenomenal.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yes. I just love what you guys are doing with these different types of individuals, the younger folks, because we talk about this on this show over and over, that when we were growing up, we didn't have that, the guidance, the mentoring, and all those types of things to help us in entrepreneurship or through life. And this is what we're giving back right now. You know, like what you guys are doing is phenomenal. Love that.
And I know for me, out of all the work that I do, the work that is the most fulfilling for me is when I work with kids. And you're absolutely right. You see a transformation that you don't necessarily see when you're working with adults, and also just the gratitude. I've had letters years later from young kids that have been in any one of the Girl Scouts or when I was a ski instructor, and I actually got a letter recently from a young lady who came to us because her mom was having some problems with her. And so she came into the program. We had to work with her, and then she was in her 20s, and she had a child, and she was trying to go to school. And she wrote to me and said, I should have listened to you guys. You guys were just trying to direct me, and this is the hardest thing I've ever done, have a baby and try to go to school at the same time. But I am determined I'm going to make something out of my life. So thank you so much for committing your time, because, you know, it's a selfish thing, because not everybody step up to want to work with children. Right? So all of us here that do that, even sometimes their parents don't want to work with them. Yeah. And so, and I don't have any children, so it's always something that I felt that one of the purposes I was put on this planet to do. So I take my hat off to you guys as well, and to Tanya, because that's some good stuff. Yeah. Because, you know, one day these will be CEOs and presidents and senators, and you had something to do with that.
Absolutely. So how did you and David come together? How did that happen?
So last year I went to a conference that was put on by Eric Thomas. Yes. And I went purely to hear Inky Johnson. His story really transformed and changed my life. Right. And I saw David on stage speaking, and I was drawn to his words, and he just happened to answer a DM, and I joined his coaching program, and he's really impacted my life tremendously, and I've become a better person since I've been clicking up with David. That's great. And just seeing the fact that, you know, a little over a year ago, seeing him on stage, and now we're rocking together. It's it's crazy.
Now you guys are a team.
Absolutely.
And what's the foundation that your family?
The Keffer Foundation.
Okay, and what does?
So we just really believe in changing the world one life at a time. Simple as that. And so didn't really know what we were going to do. And I know I wanted to do something with the youth. And I tried doing different things. I was like, well, let's do a football camp in the inner city, Inglewood somewhere. And I was like, hey, we'll fund it. Nobody wanted to run it. I was like, well, then let's do a conference. Nobody wanted to run it. And then just connecting with David, it just kind of fell into place. And I had an idea. David had some ideas. So I'm really more on the mental health side. David's on the entrepreneur side. But it's really amazing to see the two.
Because the principles are the same.
Yeah.
So just to get you guys know, I hooked up with David too. David and I worked together. Yeah. And we met kind of the same way. I saw him on stage at a conference. Yeah. And I resonated with his words. His words resonated with me. I gave him a call. I've been on this coaching call now for how long?
It's
about 8-9 months now.
Well, you saw me on stage too. You never hooked up with me, so what's going on?
But see, hilarious. Yes, I did. I'm on the show. We hooked up. I'm on the show. But I have to tell you, the guy is absolutely amazing. He has a coaching call that I think, please don't raise the price after I say this, is worth so much more. Listen, he has a call almost every night of the week. For when I found out that could be on, first I thought it was only on Sunday nights, and then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then now 8 o'clock on Mondays. Yeah. Man, and the information is absolutely awesome. Yeah. Absolutely awesome. So I've been trying to do some things for a long time. Some things I had in my heart. Yeah. Hooked up with this guy, and he holds you accountable to some stuff.
Which is good.
And November, you guys watch out. I might get a husband, and my program's going to launch. I really don't want a husband. I don't even want a boyfriend.
So, David, you're going to be that husband, right?
No, he's already married. He just got married. That was a conversation when we came back from it.
No, so, I'm just saying. But he's awesome. He's awesome. His coaching call is phenomenal.
So who was your mentor when you were a kid? Because there had to be one that
my dad was my mentor when I was a kid. I didn't really know what a mentor was. It was just my dad would give me good information. Yeah. When I turned 17, I met a man by the name of Jonathan Green, who introduced me to reading books and wearing a suit and wearing a tie. Yeah. just thinking differently. Because it was actually a network marketing company called Prepaid Legal. It's now called Legal Shield.
Yeah, I'm a rep. Were you?
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like the 10 core commitments would read 10 pages of a good book a day, expose a certain amount of people. And I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've sold everything. I mean.
I saw a video earlier when you were telling the kids about the rake and the leaves falling off, the money coming down off the tree.
Oh, for sure. Money grows on trees. Oh, for sure.
I think you should tell that story again to the audience who never heard it before.
Oh, absolutely. So I remember raking my lawn. So my dad it was really slavery because I had to work a whole bunch around the house, and he paid me in food.
You were
slavery.
You were an indentured slave.
Absolutely. For sure. So I'm raking the leaves, and I personally didn't know why my dad didn't want the leaves on the ground because I like the colors. I'm like, yo, you can play football in these leaves. But I looked across the street, and the lady had the leaves on the lawn. Yeah. So I just had this brilliant idea, go knock on the door, and I asked the lady, I said, hey, first off, I admire your lawn. Okay, it's so many pretty colors. But do you like the fact that there's leaves on your lawn? If not, I could take them all for you. And she said, yeah, well, how much? And at that point, I didn't get that far. I didn't know what to say. So I was like, I think at that point, my dad was giving me $10 allowance. So I was like, $10. She said, do the front and back. I give you $20. I said, what? Say no. I got to work all week. I got to work 2 weeks for $20. I said, okay, no problem. So I actually rake up the leaves. And this part of the story I kind of add in. But rake up the leaves, and, there's piles of leaves on the lawn. Yeah. And I knock on the door. I said, ma'am, it's ready. It's done. I'll take my $20 now. And she looks and said, it's good, but you got piles of leaves everywhere. Are you going to put them in bags? I'm like, well, I don't really have any bags. And I said, do you have some? She said, no, I'm paying you. I said, okay, give me a minute. So go back home, say, Dad, we need some trash bags. She said, I don't have any. I said, Dad, give me some money to go to the store so I can get some bags. He said, you need to get a job. I said, Dad, I'm trying.
That's what we doing, Dad.
Right, that's what we doing here. So I could have just quit. I could have walked away, but I go back across the street, knock on the door, and I say, ma'am, I'm going to need a deposit. Yeah. Okay? This is customary. Everybody does it. I'm like, listen, all my clients, they give me a deposit up front. It's $10, okay? And she said, how many clients you got? I'm like, well, a whole bunch. Okay, a bunch. So I take the $10, go to the store, get the trash bags, and now I'm in business.
That's amazing.
But my next goal is, I can pick up these clients. I got, 4 or 5 clients, and I say I want to expand. My next goal is to get another rake. Yeah. Not so that, I have a backup, but I can give one to my friend. Yeah. And if somebody's going to give me $20, I can give my friend $15. They're not doing nothing after school. Like, yo, rake that lady's lawn, put it in bags, I give you $15.
So you're bringing in an independent consultant.
Oh, absolutely. Wow. And that's how I teach kids entrepreneurship in a way that they can really, really understand it. Real elementary principles.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now let me ask this of you, because you guys have been working with kids. So this summer, when when the kids were deciding what business they were going to be in, because they had to create a concept for me, and so I told them, recognizing whatever pain points that were in their world, in their school or at home or in their community, and come up with a business based upon that. So we had 25 kids in a room from the ages of 11 to 18. And of that 25, 10 of them came up with businesses for stress relief. And I went, and when I saw that, I went, what are you guys stressed about?
It's a common theme.
Right. And so... And I was telling him, I said, when I was your age, which was a long time ago, and I put down whatever, if I was stressed, it would have been homework, and that was probably it, because we had set bedtimes and so forth. They had literally, I filled up 2 boards with stuff that stresses them out. And so their businesses were related. So the 3 kids, 2 of the kids won based upon that. So one of them, she was creating a business, an app, where you could reach out to a referral for a psychologist or a social worker who could help you if you were feeling suicidal. She was 14.
How old are these kids?
She was 14.
Ooh.
Just off the chain. And she delivered hers like a pro. Wow. So she actually won. And then an 11-year-old, he had a aromatherapy pen. So when you were taking tests and you were stressed out, you push a button and a sense of lavender would come out to help relieve you.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
and then my 15-year-old, she won second prize, and hers was a financial literacy app that also taught you how to understand the stock market.
So, I'm telling you, man, these kids, they're on a different level than we were.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we were never thinking like this.
Yeah, you know, I don't think there were many programs teaching entrepreneurship, though.
No.
There weren't people like us teaching entrepreneurship back in the day. And I'm glad that entrepreneurship is now a trend, because one of my friends, he lives up in Pennsylvania. He's administrator for a school. He said it's going to be mandatory. They're trying to push something where it's mandatory for kids to take entrepreneurship classes in 3rd grade, 5th grade, and 8th grade.
And they should.
Wow. That's great.
So it wasn't like to be able to come up with these type of ideas. I think they're just living in the right time right now, where, you know, entrepreneurship is just the theme. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. It's like almost not cool to have a job.
Right, exactly.
Well, the thing about it is about entrepreneurship. When we were growing up, we thought that we could get rich by working for someone. That's a myth. Doesn't happen. So as we grow, we realize that, hey, the only way to get close to richness is to be our own boss, be our own entrepreneur. And that's why more and more people are getting into that. Plus, a lot of people who try to get employment right now, they get discriminated against. So they say, hey, why am I going to work for this person to get them rich when I can start my own thing?
Right.
And most of the times when we start our thing is because we see a niche in the market.
Yeah.
We are a disruptor. So that's how the pendulum starts shifting to this side right now, which is amazing.
I think the internet has a lot to do with it too, because, you know, back in the day, in your neighborhood, what you saw in your neighborhood, that's all you're exposed to. So if you see somebody having a nice Cadillac and a nice house, it came from a job. So I need to get the job so I can have that Cadillac and that car. But now the internet shows people living this wildly successful life.
YouTube and deriving their income from revenues. They're not doing anything but silly stuff on the internet. Also now in Atlanta, you guys have a different framework, because there's some stuff that took place, I remember reading, where, because a lot of us, we became educators, our parents told us to go get jobs in the state, the federal, or whatever, so you'd always have a job. But that didn't happen in Atlanta. There was some sort of shift that took place that I read in Atlanta, that you guys took, the black population took control of, and a lot of them were entrepreneurs.
Oh yeah, I think Atlanta's like the black mecca for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I hear that, and I really like to check it out.
But it was something that was actually put in place. There was something that was put in place. I think it was in 1960 that spurred that on. That's why there's so many entrepreneurs in Atlanta.
There was a Black Wall Street there. And then so there's a main road, 75, 85, that they built right in, like, to run through the Black Wall Street, and that's what kind of divided it and broke it up. But there was a Black Wall Street where it was an African American area of entrepreneurs that were, you know, building.
But there's a lot of wealth in Atlanta that's probably more so than anywhere else.
We out there.
Yeah, you guys are doing your thing in Atlanta. And then our parents, they wanted you to get those type of jobs. I was blessed because I'm like a 3rd generation entrepreneur. So it was inevitable. That's what I was doing. And I think I started my first business with my mom at 7. But not everybody's that lucky to have it come from those beginnings. Most people are not.
Oh, for sure, that's a blessing.
Well, I think it's absolutely awesome what you guys are doing. You've been here all week, right? You got it on Wednesday. How many schools have you gone into so far?
We've been to a bunch, right?
4.
4
3.
schools.
1 2 days, and then Lutzinger yesterday and Los Angeles High School today.
It's every day. It's every day. We've been to schools every day.
Wow.
Every day.
And when you go to these schools, what's the topics, or is it just free flow as you get there to see where the kids are, or?
I'll let you explain it.
David likes me to share he calls it my fat story.
Okay.
So I just I had to figure out, it was like, why do I keep going back to what I do? And so.
And you were awesome today, by the way.
Thank you. And it's one thing to know the what, but if we don't know the why behind the what, we're going to be stuck. And so I had to trace back, like, okay, why do I remember this time where we had this youth program at my house with the kids from church. My wife got the ghetto cheese from Smart and Final to make nachos, like that really good cheese.
The Velveeta.
And I was working out at the time and trying to eat right. My wife had dropped some kids off. I was home by myself, and I went on a frenzy and had like probably 10 servings of like nachos.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I just ruined everything I did this entire week. I fell down the hallway and started crying.
Yeah.
Like, why am I just keep on eating this? Like, I can't stop. So I had to go back and I had to trace that. And I hadn't dealt with some stuff from my childhood. Some stuff where my brother had like literally abused me. And I shared with the kids. I was like 4 years old. My brother had handcuffed me to his bed, turned the lights off, told me my parents were dead.
Oh, my
And if I made any noise, I would die as well.
Wow.
So, of course, my parents would come home and I freak out. I'm like, you know, they didn't know what was going on. He told me not to say anything.
Yeah.
So this resulted in me sleeping with a baseball bat, whiling out of school, throwing chairs, getting arrested, all types of stuff. And it was, I knew the what, but I didn't know the why behind it. And so when I traced the why, that's when the weight started falling off. And so I tried to tell them, if you don't deal with your why, if you don't identify that, you know, it's weird how our minds are programmed. Things happen to us, and we can do things because of the situations that happen to us. If we don't realize that, our mind can have us doing things that we didn't know we should be doing.
Exactly. And not understanding the why.
I think this is the second school I've seen David do. And what I like about how they've structured it is that today was how many speakers? 4. I didn't expect to speak, but he threw me up there, and God showed up. So I'll tell you,
girl, you know how to do this.
But the interesting thing was, as one of the teachers said there, he had 4 people went up, and the students were able to see themselves in someone that got up front. So just in case they didn't resonate with David, which is totally impossible, they got a chance to see themselves in the other gentleman who was also an actor and an entrepreneur. They got a chance to see themselves in me. So it was like, I thought it was just great, not just having one speaker.
Was he up on the stage
absolutely,
as well?
He was on the stage as well. I think, what is the guy's name? I did a comedy with him.
Jordan
went up first, and Jordan's phenomenal. Jordan's really awesome. His story is unique in his own right, and he's kind of different. I'm sure they saw themselves in him. He's very relatable. And then Ray went up, then myself, and then David closed it out. I think we made a great team. I really think we should take this thing on the road.
Take it on the road.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, because I guess maybe like people are familiar with my work and stuff like that. A lot of people ask me to come, to their schools, but whoever's with me is going to speak. Yeah. Period. We had maybe 5. We had a bunch of speakers yesterday. Yeah. And I just make sure everybody gets their time to. One, I think it's 2 parts. The kids need to be able to hear somebody else's story, so they can find, who to identify with. But even the speakers, I think it's just valuable for us to be able to go share our story and inspire somebody else, because I know when I inspire kids, it inspires me too. So I make sure Dawn's like, I'm not ready. I was like, girl, take this mic. And anybody, just be warned, if you come to me with a school, you're going to speak.
Right. I wasn't not ready in the sense of not having any information.
She told me verbatim, I'm not ready.
I wasn't really expecting this. I have on sweats and a jacket,
And went up there and killed it.
Thank you.
She killed it.
But kids, they'll take you as you are. If you got something to share with them, they'll take you at just whatever you have. And because it's so interesting in our school systems today, especially our public school systems, there's such a disconnect from the teachers, and I know Tanya knows this, from the teachers and the kids. When I've done some teaching at schools, just the fact that they can't be touched. And sometimes that's all it requires, just a hand on them to help them understand that, somebody else cares about me, because we don't know what's happening at the house. All kinds of stuff is going on over there. So when they come to you, you have to kind of get to their level so that you can connect with them.
And to watch the kids pay more and more attention as the speakers, as each preacher, spoke, and then David had them taking notes, and they were asking questions. And when you can actually capture the attention of kids, you can speak.
Oh yeah. And all you have to do, I remember Armin, the guy that does the digital marketing for me. Armin has never spoken to children at all on no age, and so this summer I had him get up to teach with the kids, and he's like, "Crystal, I'm nervous," and I could tell he was nervous. But the one thing that he does is he studies everything that has anything to do with digital marketing, so he knows everyone on YouTube that's doing anything crazy. When he started dropping names, he had the kids. They were like, oh my God. And then they started asking questions, and it was just like he didn't even leave. He left at 5 o'clock. He came at 1.
Wow. So Crystal's Race Foundation is actually bringing David in to do this. So his foundation needs some help. We got to help him raise some money so we keep this thing alive next year.
There's a number of groups out there that like I said, when I was telling to Tanya, when we went raising money for the entrepreneurial program, we had no money for it. We just went. We knew what we were doing, and so we raised the $85,000 for the 2-day camp. And our camp, actually, when you break it on down, it's like $1,500 per kid, and these kids come for free. Mm-hmm. And then we pay them a stipend of $250 for being there. And then they compete, and then there's a $750, $500, and $300 prize for doing the best pitch for their business and the best business idea. And we did that for 50 kids this year. And so it's pretty awesome. So there's some folks out there that it's just how you put the proposals together right now. That's it. If we're changing people's lives, any of the banks. If you're a nonprofit, any of the banks, Union Bank is big, CIT, Bank of America not so much, but Chase, I think they have some programs. Target definitely has programs, and if there's, and then a lot of the sporting organizations do too.
Now, you guys probably don't know about my program. I have a program called Small Biz Pro. There are grants on that program as well. So if you go to smallbizpro.net, you register. And then when you get to the dashboard on the left-hand side, you have 3 services. You got procurement, you've got business management, and market research. On the procurement is where you'll find those grants. So I just want you guys to know, and I'm going to extend the same courtesy like I extended to Tanya, to you guys. I got 4 funders that I don't have them, but I have a list with those 4 funders that they're always helping. So I'll send you guys that information so you can check them out, because I think you guys have amazing programs that can benefit from sponsorship from that. I also have this big old thick book with grants in it. When I used to go to school, college, you can get grants out of that for going to school. So I'll share that with you guys also and see if it could help your program.
Absolutely. You want to tell me a little bit about the program and what we do?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the program.
So we come in and everybody pretty much tells our story for the first couple of months. So we have people coming in and giving them options. So so if you don't want to be, an entrepreneur, what else can you do? Yeah. So we got the Army side, we got people who work for production companies, we got all type of people come and share their story, share their background, to let them know they can succeed, right? Because a lot of times, kids, that are having hard times, who do they look up to? The guy in the corner, the guy with the money, the guy with the car, the guy with the hot chick that leaves when he's broke, right? That's what they see. So we start there, and then David comes in on the entrepreneur side and really kind of hits him hard. How to develop your business. Like this guy right here, he came in today and put on a PowerPoint presentation without a PowerPoint.
Oh, wow. Today. How does that work?
Just off the cuff. I mean, it was legit. Like this dude's the guru right here of entrepreneurship. And
I'm going to have to adopt that strategy.
PowerPoint with no PowerPoint.
You had to be there.
And so the goal is we break the kids up in group. What's near to your heart, right? So, like, my mentee, he's like, I want to survive despite what people think of me. And so we're like, well, what can this be? So we came up with different phrases. Then he was like, look at me now. So we're going to put that on a wristband, tailor a story around that wristband, and try to flip that $100 into $10,000.
Oh, wow. That's
over
cool.
time. Yeah.
That is great.
His mentee has it easy because his mentee has a guru. So I looked over to him and I said, listen, this man right here is the GOAT. Get as much information as you can from him because this is just the beginning.
Right. That's great, man.
So the whole basis of the program is all these kids have an idea and they put the idea on wristbands, right? And they have a product that they can sell. It's a low ticket item for us to get it. We brought in a bunch of mentors, so each kid or group is paired with a mentor, and we invest $100 and we wound up getting like 350 wristbands or something like that they'll sell for $2. So the first $100 they pay back to their mentor, and now they're in business. And we help them, market it, and really build a business. Right. Because what I found out is there's two options in a kid's life, right? The wrong way and the right way. Mm-hmm. So they're in the street, and the main drug dealer or gang member is saying, listen, come with me. You see that car? You can have that. Yeah. You see that girl? You can have that, right? You can live this life. Yeah. But then they come to school and the teacher says, don't do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the kid's thinking, why? And the answer is, so you can go to college. You could be like me. I went to college. Yeah. And the kid is like,
I want to do that.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like you. I want that car.
Guy did it in like 12 months.
Right. Yeah. So we're giving them a vision, saying, you can take this message and this wristband and look what it can turn into. Yeah. And you can get that thing that you want, just doing it the right way.
I like that.
So we have to offer what they want, not just what we want them to do. Yeah. It's unfair for us to say, no, don't do the wrong thing. Well, what's the benefit of doing the right thing? And do I want the benefit you're trying to sell me?
So it's good to find out what they like.
And if you're going to, so I had a kid tell me one time, Miss Crystal, I want to be a drug dealer. Because that's, we're talking entrepreneurship. What do you want to do? I want to be a drug dealer. I said, all right. So here's, I'm big on research. So this is what you need to do. You need to come back to me with your research done on any drug dealer that hasn't been shot, haven't been stabbed, haven't been jumped, don't have his house surrounded by bodyguards, not living behind a barricade, not having been to jail for anything. And so he came back the next week. I said, you got my report? He goes, no. Okay, I need my report next week. He came back. He goes, well, why you had to throw jail in there and get shot and got stabbed? That makes it more difficult. Go get my report and come back. So the next week he goes, Miss Crystal, I think I'm gonna open up a T-shirt business. Good idea. Because you gotta get to their level. You gotta help them rational it out. Yeah. Critical thinking, as Tanya said. Yeah. Let's look at the options, because those are not the options of an entrepreneur. Yeah, we do some calculated risk, but it is not about going to jail.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't have to run and hide from anybody. So you're absolutely right. You have to give them options, and viable options that make sense to them.
Absolutely.
And it's very important.
We're almost at the top of the hour, and I still want to know a little bit about your phrase here, sleep is for suckers. I want you to tell me about that, because I don't get any sleep right now.
Oh, there you go.
I want to know, am I a sucker or what's the deal? So tell me about that.
Absolutely. I always had a job and I always had a dream at the same time. But all of my jobs were mostly like restaurants. In restaurants, if you know, there's always long hours. You got to work doubles, things of that nature, right? So after I get off work, I got an option. I can work on my dream or I can go to sleep. Yeah. And I just chose to work on my dream. So I just kind of adopted the whole sleep is for suckers. Like, I can sleep later, okay? I really, really have a dream. So now, so the first, I quit my job after 2.5 years of building the business, but the message kind of turned from actual physical sleep, which I got very little, to watching TV all day. We consider that a form of sleep. Playing video games, we consider that sleep. Just doing like wasting time. Your eyes are open, but you sleep.
I like that phrase, the wasting time piece.
Absolutely.
And I teach this in my workshops all the time. I'll try not to do things that I've done before, because to me that's wasted time. I'm wasting valuable time. Like, I don't watch a movie. Some people say, hey, that's crazy. I don't watch a movie that I already watched, because to me that's an hour I just wasted. I could be spending that making some money or creating some ideas or mentoring somebody. You see what I mean? So I never repeat stuff. Never. Because, in your vein, sleeper for sucker is like sleeping. Those extra hours, that's like sleeping.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't do repeat stuff.
I've been on last thing. The one thing I've been watching like bank robbery movies.
Yeah,
like because of the planning, the attention to detail. Yeah. Like, there's so many things that go into robbing a bank. Like the strategy of it, right?
Right.
But we don't spend half that time on our business, or half that time thinking of it. If you're going to rob a bank, we got to make sure all of our T's are crossed, I's are dotted. Yeah. We got to do the research before we launch. But for us, we'll just say, we're just going to start a business, and just if it don't work, it don't work.
Yeah.
Well, when you rob a bank, it has to work.
Yeah, it has to work. And you right, the alternative is bad, right?
You know, that's an amazing concept. Maybe you could liken a program, liken the bank robbery to running a business.
Absolutely.
They start a business, didn't think about it, they die. Well, not physically.
But I do teach people you need to have some consequences.
Yeah,
somebody need to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to sell 100 books this month,
and you didn't,
there need to be some consequences.
Yes.
Set it up with your friend, like, yo, we're going to put $1,000 on it. If you're sure, let's put $1,000 on it.
That's right.
Okay, if you don't do what you say you're going to do, let's put the money in the account. You lose your money.
That's right.
You'll go a little harder.
Oh, yeah.
You'll
think about it some more.
Exactly. Yeah, and the consequences, and it's interesting you said that, because there was a friend of mine that had said that, those individuals that were in the drug business, right? So when you think about it, if you guys ever saw, what was that show was on, that was one of the best shows on, about drug, it was out of Baltimore.
The Wire.
The Wire.
Yeah.
So all the work that went into managing and distribution and the whole bit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a full-on corporation, and that they had to run and manage all these people.
Yeah.
So this doctor out of Rikers, she said that's what she would go in, is teach them and expose them to network marketing that didn't have anything to do with money.
Yeah.
Right. And they were excellent at it because. And I have a mentee that he was a mixologist. So when he came out with his business plan, his money that they give him, whatever, that $250, and he took that and created a business. And today he is doing well. He used his same skill sets as a chemist into creating his own natural shea butter, and he just doing off the chain stuff. So that's the things we just need to talk to our children about.
Man, this show is so phenomenal.
So we are at the top, and it's time to go. And
it's unbelievable. We could do this again. We'd like to have you guys back, so we can definitely talk to you guys about some more. We didn't even get to delve into this book, but we should certainly invite you guys back.
Absolutely.
We'd love to do that.
Absolutely.
So we'll see you guys next week. We got the Bella Network Conference next week from November 2nd to the 4th. 2nd to the 4th, right? Yes. And that's so you guys can go on our website and the Bella Network website to find out more details about that. There's a commercial that will run at the end of the show that's got the details for that. You can reach out to the Bella Network. You got a class on the 30th.
Yeah, I've got a capability statement development and contract readiness class with GLAC on Tuesday, the 30th, from 9 to 11. And just give me a call. I'll give you guys details on it. 626-533-1186. 626-533-1186. I can give you some information. And right?
And I have a digital marketing class every Wednesday night from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Los Angeles Urban League, 4401 Crenshaw Boulevard. It's free. Come out and learn how to create multiple streams of income from using your website and your blog.
David, how can they sign up for your coaching?
Oh, Sleepless Nights with a K. Sleepless Nights Coaching, KNIGHTS, coaching.com.
And Ray, how can we reach you?
Instagram at Big Ray Kef. My email is Ray, RAY, at jkfresh.com.
Do you have any events coming up?
Not right. Just another program at Kane Air Center on November 5th and 6th.
Don,
and if you want to pour into what Ray's doing so we can keep this thing moving and get him into some other schools, give him a call. He needs your support.
Sounds good.
You can reach me
The Blend.
on The Blend. You can follow us on The Blend. The Blend every Wednesday at 7 in the evening or 4 o'clock, depending on where you are. Or you can follow me at Dawn Strozier, STROZIER.
All righty.
Or if you're single and available.
No, I don't need a husband. I'm just having fun.
So we will see you guys next week. This is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert.
And Don.
And we are out.
We're out.
Have a great weekend.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.